Hi, it's Scott with BRIX Real Estate, and you're looking to find a foreclosed home. How do you go about it? Where do you find them? That's some great questions. Now, I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty of the process. There's plenty of stuff online that goes into that'll give you all the information that you're looking for. I'm going to be talking more about how to find them. Now, when you are, getting into this and you're like, oh, I want to find a, foreclosed home. It's going to be cheap. It's going to be, great for me to, get in there, fix it up, and I'm going to make, all sorts of money if I sell it now or sell it, sometime in the future. There's potentially you can make a lot of money. There's a lot of factors that come into that though, and I'll touch on that here in just a little bit. The first thing is, when you start and you're like, okay, where do I find these foreclosed properties? You'll see stuff online where they talk about oh, just pay, $50 and we'll send you this list, or, $29.99 and we can get you on this monthly mailing list. It's really not necessary. There is free resources out there. For example, you can go down to the government center. That's a little more work to kind of go through the public records and take a look at, for homes and try to pull, ones out that are foreclosed. It's actually easier if you reach out to a real estate agent like myself, and we could get you set up on a list through the MLS. So then you would find out about, homes that, just go into foreclosure. There's also, list pendings, the sheriff's sales, so there's a lot of different resources that are out there to be able to help. But you don't want to spend money just to get the list because it's not necessary. And I've found that a lot of times when people, spend money to get this list, it's not even always accurate. So you just want to, use your own due diligence with this. And that's why it's the easiest to just go with a real estate agent, and they can help guide you through this whole process and, help you find, foreclosed homes. Now, when you're stepping back and kind of looking at things, you have, pre-foreclosure, you have the, that they're at the time of foreclosure, and then you have after, where it really becomes a bank-owned property. Now, when you're kind of looking at, those three different steps that a foreclosed, property goes through, you want to ask yourself, okay, what is my, buying time frame? What is my financial situation? Because, depending on how dilapidated the home is, you might need to use, cash or a hard money lender. If there's not a lot of work that needs to be done, or a lot of work that you can see that needs to be done, then you might be able to get financing. It's just really going to depend. And it's basically it's a home by home, determination to decide, when you're kind of looking at that. And, an experienced real estate agent like myself can help with that, to kind of, make those decisions. And so, for example, a lot of times with, pre-foreclosed homes, they also won't, you can definitely have an inspection, but they won't fix anything, especially if it's bank owned or even, if it's in the pre-foreclosure, or at the time of foreclosure, there's really not stuff that, the seller or the bank is going to typically be willing to do. So you're basically buying the home for the most part as is, and you'll need to take on any repairs, known or unknown, that you see when you go through the property. Okay. Now, another thing is that, when you find a home and you're excited about it and you get it under contract, you're going to want to have the title company do a search to make sure that there's, not any unforeseen hurdles, or, that there's extra financing out there that the seller had taken out. You just want to make sure that, the title company takes a look, and so exactly what you're, walking into. The other thing is that, here in Minnesota, with us having the 4 seasons, you also, when you go and are taking a tour, looking at the home, was the home winterized? If you're looking in the winter, or even any time of the year, depending on how long the home was in the foreclosure process, because a lot of times people, once they know that they're losing the home, they will not take care of it. And you can have where pipes freeze, you can have all sorts of unseen things happen that you don't even know about until you buy the home. Because also, when it's bank owned, they turn off the water, they put tape over the toilet seats, they put tape, on the faucets, so they don't want you to, use those things, and the water's off. So you don't really know what the situation is until you buy the property and then have the water turned on. So, and another good point is, so when the title company should also be able to see, is there any money that's owed, to the different utility companies? Because that's another thing that, sellers will stop doing, is they'll stop paying, for the utilities and the water and all that, because they just don't care. And, the other part is that it really also kind of depends on, was the home a rental or was it owner occupied? Because, or was it vacant? Because a vacant property, you should be able, to get in and have the process be faster, because vacant properties, typically banks are able to go through the process of taking the home back in a significantly shorter time. Some banks, can do it as quick as 5 weeks, as long as the home is vacant. And you also, if there's somebody living there, then it's a little bit of a different situation. And especially if it's owner occupied. So you could be potentially looking up to, a year. So it just really depends. And that's why it's so important to work with an experienced real estate agent that knows about foreclosures and can help guide you through this process to avoid any pitfalls and to make the process as smooth as possible. And you can, like I said, you can make money with this. It's just, you need to be in the long game, because even when you get a home under, you send an offer in, well, the bank can take as long as they want. So some banks will, reply right away and let you know if they're accepting it or they're not accepting it. Typically, banks won't counter. They'll just either accept or deny, your offer. So then if you were really excited about the home and wanted to increase your offer, then you could increase it, do another offer. But typically you're going to want to do your best offer first, because if the home is desirable, there's going to be other investors out there that are looking as well. But the other thing is that banks, they can take, months to decide and to get back to you, and it could be no. So it's not something where if you need a home in the next 30, 60 days, buying a foreclosed home is not the right route to go. You're better off doing, more of a traditional purchase where you can close in, 30 to 60 days once you get it under contract. So if you'd like to talk more about this, please feel free to reach out. This is Scott Carlson with BRIX Real Estate. Thank you and have a great day.